A year that gave us the greatest song of all time, according to Rolling Stone. A track where the lead singer pushed so hard producers feared he'd collapse in the booth. And a Grammy winner born from graffiti on city walls during the civil rights uprisings. 1967 wasn't just another year in soul music. It was the year everything changed. From Motown's psychedelic experiments to Stax's raw Memphis fire, from teenagers who became instant legends to independent artists who topped charts without the machine behind them, these 12 songs rewrote the rules. One became a feminist and civil rights anthem. Another was the first hit to use the word funky. And at number 1, you'll discover how 3 words spray painted on buildings became one of soul's most powerful declarations. Number 12, Respect, Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin took a man's song and flipped it into a revolution. When she reworked Otis Redding's version in 1967, she didn't just cover it, she owned it, transformed it, and turned it into something nobody saw coming. Those driving horn riffs punched through like fists in the air. Gospel-rooted piano chords anchor every measure while call and response backing vocals shout back with righteous fire. But here's the twist. Aretha added that legendary spelling section herself, 5 letters that became a rallying cry heard around the world. Notice how the horns arrive exactly when her voice hits peak conviction, creating a surge that feels both inevitable and explosive. The track shot to number 1 on both pop and R&B charts instantly, crowning her the Queen of Soul. Rolling Stone later called it the greatest song of all time. This wasn't just music. It became a civil rights and feminist declaration that transcended every boundary. Few records in history fused raw power, meticulous craft, and cultural earthquake so perfectly. While Aretha commanded from the throne, the next singer nearly destroyed himself, delivering one of soul's most desperate performances. Number 11, Bernadette. The Four Tops. Levi Stubbs sang so hard on this track that producers genuinely feared he might collapse in the booth. That's not hyperbole. That's documented studio panic. The Four Tops hit dramatic heights in 1967 with a performance wrapped in Motown's trademark polish, but bleeding with raw desperation. Orchestral strings sweep and climb like rising panic. An insistent bass line refuses to let up for even a moment. Gospel-style call and response builds urgency that borders on a breakdown. Hear how the strings swell just before Stubbs reaches his breaking point, as if the orchestra itself can't contain what's happening. The arrangement pushed the song into the R&B top 5, standing out even among the Tops' flawless catalog for sheer emotional intensity. This wasn't their biggest crossover hit, but it remains the fan favorite that proves something crucial. Motown's polish didn't dilute emotion, it magnified it into something almost operatic. The track showed how precision and passion could coexist at the breaking point. From that storm of near collapse, we move to a duet with a secret that makes their chemistry even more remarkable.
You know what breaks my heart a little? Only 1% of the people who watch R&B vinyl are actually subscribed. 99 out of 100 of you keep coming back, vibing with the grooves, feeling the stories, reliving the voices that built soul itself, but you still haven't hit that button. Think about it. You've spent time here, maybe even rediscovered a song that hit you right in the chest, and yet you're walking away before the next track drops. Subscribing costs nothing, not a cent, but it means you'll never miss the moments that remind you who you were when that record first played. R&B vinyl isn't just music, it's memory, it's heritage. It's the pulse that still beats under everything we love. Don't just listen from the sidelines. Be part of the 1% who keep the soul alive. Hit subscribe, stay, groove, and keep the record spinning with us.
Number 10, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
No matter where you are, no matter how far. Don't worry.
Here's what most people don't know. Marvin and Tammy never sang this together in the same room. Their vocals were recorded completely separately, yet their chemistry sounds so inseparable, you'd swear they were finishing each other's sentences face to face. That's the magic Motown captured in 1967. The track blends stomping rhythm with soaring orchestral flourishes and perfectly interwoven male-female call and response that future duets would chase for decades and never quite catch.
Enough, baby. If you need me, call me.
Written by Ashford and Simpson, it wasn't a massive pop hit at first, but watch what happened next. It grew and grew, eventually becoming a staple of film soundtracks and wedding playlists that still play today. Catch how the strings lift just as their voices meet, and create an elevation that matches the lyrical promise of conquering any obstacle.
Be there when you want me some way, somehow. Oh, baby.
More than a love song, it symbolized emotional partnership so powerful it didn't need proximity to work.
I think as far back as I can remember hearing music and hearing people sing. And
the song's longevity proved that sometimes the deepest connections transcend studio walls entirely. If that showed Motown's polish perfected, brace yourself. Memphis teenagers are about to crash the party with something completely different. Feeling the groove? Drop your favorite so far in the comments and smash that subscribe button.
Baby, just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry.
Number 9, Soul Finger. The Barkays Memphis teenagers. A horn-heavy instrumental, and neighborhood kids pulled off the street to shout, "Hey!" Those are the ingredients that created an instant party anthem in 1967. The Barkays burst onto charts with a track built on syncopated bass, tight horn riffs, and hand-clap-driven rhythm that showcased Stax's raw sound at its most playful. But here's the beautiful part. Those iconic shouts weren't professional studio singers at all. They were literally kids from the neighborhood brought in to chant along, and the unpolished joy became the song's secret weapon. The track climbed to number 3 R&B and number 17 pop, positioning these teenagers as legitimate heirs to Booker T and the MGs. Notice how the horns punch in unison, then scatter into individual riffs before snapping back together like a celebration that refuses to stay organized. Though tragedy would soon change the group's path forever, this breakout proved youthful exuberance could create one of soul's most infectious grooves. Raw energy just beat studio perfection. From teenage joy to a word that would change soul music's vocabulary forever. Number 8, Funky Broadway, Wilson Pickett. This was the first charting record to use the word funky. Let that sink in. Before this track, that word didn't exist in mainstream music.
Shake, shake, shake. You don't know.
Wilson Pickett took Dyke and the Blazers' original and gave it a harder, grittier edge that felt like it was recorded in a juke joint after midnight. His gritty vocals, stabbing horns, and swampy rhythm guitar created something that shot to number 1 R&B and broke into the pop top 10. But the impact went far beyond chart positions. This track helped usher funk into the mainstream vocabulary, bridging the gap between R&B and the emerging funk movement that would dominate the next decade. Hear how the guitar licks slide between horn stabs, creating pockets of space that make the groove feel simultaneously loose and tight. Pickett's raw performance ensured this became more than a novelty. It was a cultural pivot point that signaled where soul was heading. The song captured new street-level energy that couldn't be contained. While Pickett pushed into gritty new territory, Motown's biggest girl group was experimenting with something that sounded like it came from outer space. Number 7, Reflections. The Supremes. 1967 marked a turning point, and the title told you everything. This was the first single credited to Diana Ross and the Supremes, a name change that signaled Ross's rising stardom and the group's evolution. But the real revolution was sonic. This became one of Motown's first ventures into psychedelic soul, blending traditional R&B with futuristic textures like the Moog synthesizer, cutting-edge technology for 1967. Shimmering strings and echo-laden production reflected the era's experimentation, while Diana's lead vocal anchored everything with longing and elegance that kept it grounded. Notice how the strings seem to ripple and shimmer like actual reflections on water, creating an almost hypnotic quality that pulls you under. Though not their biggest hit, it became a milestone that proved something crucial. Motown could adapt to the shifting sounds of the late 60s without losing its soul. The track paved the way for more adventurous production within the label, showing polish and experimentation could coexist. From Motown's futuristic experiments, we shift to a woman who did it all herself and reached number 1 without the machine. Number 6, Make Me Yours, Betty Swan. Betty Swan wrote it, sang it, and took it to number 1 R&B in 1967, all on her own terms. No Motown machine, no major label push, just pure independent artistry that climbed to the top of the charts anyway. The track's strength lives in understated guitar lines, crisp drumming, and Swan's warm conversational vocal style that feels more like a personal confession than a performance. The intimacy makes every word feel directed straight at you, as if she's sitting across from you in a quiet room sharing a secret. While it reached number one R&B, Swan never achieved the same crossover fame as her Motown contemporaries. But here's where the story gets interesting. Catch how the guitar provides gentle punctuation rather than dominating, letting her voice remain front and center where it belongs. She later stepped away from the industry entirely to live a private life as a teacher, deepening the mystique around her legacy. The song remains proof that you didn't need the Motown machine to reach the top. Independence could win. While Swan kept it intimate, the next duo proved playful. Insults could become soul magic. This journey hitting different? Let us know which track surprised you and hit that subscribe button. Number 5. Number 4. Get On Up. The Esquires. Chicago's answer to Motown, hit with unstoppable energy. The Esquires blended doo-wop harmonies, syncopated hand claps, and an infectious falsetto lead into a track tailor-made for the dance floor that peaked at number 11 pop and number 3 R&B. But the real impact happened on the stage. Their choreography-heavy shows became legendary, influenced later vocal groups who realized you could pair sharp moves with tight harmonies to create something unforgettable. Notice how the hand claps drive the rhythm forward relentlessly, while the falsetto soars above, creating layers of movement that make standing still physically impossible. Though the Esquires never matched this breakout success, the track endured as a Northern Soul favorite and proof that Chicago's scene could rival anything Detroit produced. It showed that even one-hit wonders could carve permanent places in soul history when they captured lightning just once. The song remains a time capsule of pure joy. While Chicago kept feet moving, Motown's biggest male group was about to show how darkness and gospel fire could redefine everything. Number 3, I Know I'm Losing You, The Temptations. Everything changed with this track. The Temptations were done with silky harmonies. This was the moment they chose something tougher, darker, more urgent. Produced by Norman Whitfield, it featured Dennis Edwards' gospel-soaked lead crying out over driving bass lines and stabbing horn accents that felt like panic made audible. The darker edge signaled their move towards psychedelic soul, which Whitfield would perfect in the years ahead and change Motown forever. The song hit number 1 R&B and became such a powerful statement that Rare Earth and Rod Stewart both covered it, proving its cross-genre appeal. Right before each chorus, catch how the bass drops into a darker pocket while the horns stab with increasing intensity, building tension that never quite releases. It just keeps tightening. This was the defining moment where Motown transformed polished harmony into raw, bleeding urgency. The Temptations proved evolution didn't mean abandoning what made them great. It meant pushing those strengths into territory nobody expected. From that desperate plea, we moved to a group that brought impossible tenderness to Stax's gritty catalog. Number 2, I Want Someone, The Mad Lies. Stax Records built its reputation on grit and power, but the Mad Lads were the beautiful exception. They paired doo-wop-style falsetto leads with gospel harmonies and Memphis rhythm guitar into something that stood completely apart from the label's usual rawness. Released in 1967, it became one of their signature tracks, highlighting an ability to bridge older vocal traditions with Southern soul instrumentation in ways that felt seamless. While they never reached the national prominence of label mates like Otis or Sam and Dave, their recordings gained cult status among collectors who recognized something special. Notice how the harmonies stack and shimmer, creating warmth that contrasts sharply with Stax's usual intensity. It's like finding silk in a warehouse of leather. The Mad Lads proved Stax wasn't just about powerhouse shouters. It had room for tenderness and harmony-driven ballads that could move you without ever raising their voice. Their legacy lives in that balance, showing soul could whisper and still hit just as hard. And now, number 1, the track that turned graffiti into a Grammy-winning cultural earthquake. Number 1, Soul Man, Sam and Dave. Graffiti spray painted during civil rights uprisings rid Soul Brother. Isaac Hayes and David Porter saw it and wrote this. That's the origin story of a track that became both a dance floor anthem and a cultural declaration that couldn't be separated from its moment in history. Sam and Dave delivered it with blazing horns, syncopated guitar riffs, and electrifying call and response vocals that climbed to number 1 R&B, top 5 pop, and won a Grammy along the way. When the horns hit during the chorus, they arrive like a declaration that refuses to be denied. Pure Memphis fire captured and bottled in 3 minutes. But here's why it matters beyond the accolades. Soul Man embodied the grit, joy, and urgency of Stax at its absolute peak while cementing Sam and Dave's reputation as one of the greatest duos in soul history. More than 5 decades later, its message and energy remain instantly recognizable, proving how a moment of cultural resistance can transform into timeless music. The track wasn't just entertainment, it was identity, pride, and survival, wrapped in an irresistible groove that still moves bodies today.